Orktober is here, the time when Warhammer 40,000 Ork players from around the world express their amazing creativity in their insane creations. And I've been working on an Orky build of my own. Let me show you how I built this Ork Pirate Ship and why you should consider making your own creations for this most weird and wonderful time of the hobby year. Now this all started because some of Meg's favourite models in the Ork collection are her flash gits. Laden with enormous guns, piles of ammo, and all the gubbins teeth can buy, these freebooting orks have so much character. But it seems wrong to have them careening around in a truck or chugging along in a battle wagon. Huge inspiration here goes to MiniWarGaming's Gorka campaign, featuring the SQUIGGERS of the DUNE, who carry a harpoon. I highly recommend these videos as they're hilarious fun. You can check them out in the description down below. So I knew what I wanted to make, but I've never been a particularly good planner. So I didn't even plan anything. In my usual fashion, I decided to just get started. For the materials for my ship, I decided it would be built using coffee stirrers. These cheap balsa wood strips are great for making convincing looking wooden planks, as well as having some great properties for part of the build later. I started this project on my stream, which you can check out every Tuesday at 7 PM GMT. If you're free, why not swing by and get some hobbying done? Starting with the main deck, I trimmed planks to size and then supported them with horizontal planks as braces. I'm aiming for it to be usable as a battle wagon in game, so I used that as a guide for the size. I also created the back part of the ship, the poop deck, so the captain of the vessel would have a suitably imposing place to stand.
Next thing I think we want is the crow's nest. We'll build in the general structure of a crow's nest.
I butchered an old biro for the mast for the crow's nest and stuck in another smaller square of balsa wood strips to make space for a grot lookout. Repeating the process for the bottom of the ship, I made this a little smaller to allow for a curved prow to really lean into the look. We've got off to a great start, but it's looking a little flat, so let's make things a little bit more three-dimensional. Now the really exciting part of this build, and also the one that filled me with dread, was the curving of the hull. I'd looked up similar projects people had made before, but most of them opted for straight lines for the prow, as it's much easier to draw, cut, and build. However, I thought it would be wrong to not at least try the bending of the planks. After a bit of rootling around on the internet, I found two different methods. The first is to put the sticks in boiling water. This immediately allows them to be formed around a suitable curve. This immediacy is a big advantage, but it also required working with boiling water and made it difficult to find objects to curve the planks around. So, on to method number 2, soaking the planks in cold water. This then allows you to bend them by gently applying pressure and leaving them for a good amount of time, we're talking a couple of hours here, in order to settle in their new curved position. Using a Tupperware full of cold water, I started the process, pressing the planks down with a glass jar. I also cut the ends of these in a diagonal pattern, which I hoped would allow for them to get smaller towards the bottom, connecting the top and bottom decks. After a lot of trial and error and a bunch of super glue, a big theme for this project, I managed to get a shape I was happy with, sticking the two decks together with the curved prow extending outwards. Now, one of the great advantages to making an Orktober project is that everything doesn't have to be super neat. It's a really liberating experience that you don't have to work with perfect lines and joins. As if it looks a little bit askew, it's just orkish engineering, isn't it? Case in point, we now have a big gap to fill where the deck meets the side planks. No worries, cut some planks roughly to shape, then glue and trim them as required. It won't win any design awards, but for a ramshackle ork rolling gunship, it seems just about right. Now the majority of the structure is built, it's time to give it a bit of character. And more importantly, a set of wheels for it to roll across the battlefields of the 41st millennium. For that, I present my secret weapon, this Triceratops knockoff transformer toy I picked up from a local corner shop for about £3.
Now stop me if you've heard this one before, but that's the plan, right? The play is to take this wonderful, beautiful Triceratops toy anyone will be happy with and cannibalize it into a pirate ship.
Not only does it have the required wheels, but once deconstructed with the help of a pair of snips and a screwdriver, there's loads of other parts ripe for converting. Stick an Orky symbol to the front of this, it's a captain's main deck. Stick some big guns into this Triceratops' mouth and cut out its eyes, it's a suitably Orky figurehead. Even the body doesn't go to waste. as I chop and stick it to fill in the gaps around the sides of the ship. Now, while the Flash Gits and Kaptin Badrukk are going to be taking pride of place on this vessel, there's still some room for some grot cabin boys. These little goblins are from Cromlech and are oozing with fun character. This guy is doing his best Titanic impression on the front, and this guy is settled into the crow's nest to look out for any nasty beakies on the horizon, complete with some railings made from cocktail sticks and snapped up coffee stirrers. No orc vehicle would be complete without enough firepower to lay down an epic broadside, so for this I raided my bits boxes both from orcs and from a few other factions as well, just to get enough guns poking out the sides, as well as in that main cannon out the front of the Triceratops head. With a few final details, this land galleon is ready to sail. Let me know what you think I should name this monstrosity in the comments down below. This project has really helped me get my hobby mojo back, as it's so much dumb fun, just sticking things together, putting on super glue, and then seeing where the creativity flow takes you. If you've made any cool kit bashes for this Orktober, check out my Discord link in the description down below, as that's a place where you can share all of your creations, not just for Orktober, but for other hobby projects as well. I'm always amazed by the creativity of our hobby community. And stay subscribed to Hobby with Ollie so you can be notified when I get this thing painted up. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. My name has been Ollie, this has been my hobby, and I'll see you in the next one.